Was good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. So, as you can see by the looks of the title and the screen, today I'm going to be bringing y'all a playmaking 3-level score with shot creating takeover. That means this build is going to be able to break ankles. And I'm telling you, I'm just going to save what I got in store for this build. So man, before we get into anything else, I just gotta go ahead and say thank God for giving me this opportunity. Thank y'all for your support, and man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody who wants to join the Rich Gang family, be sure to go ahead and turn on post notifications as well as hit that like button, y'all. Now, let's go ahead and get into the making of this build. The first thing that y'all need to go ahead and do is put this build under the power forward position. Now, when it comes down to the height, the weight, and the wingspan, I was very specific with which areas of this build I wanted to mess with when it came down to this part of the build. So just be sure that you are doing exactly as I show y'all, so you can maintain everything when it comes down to animations, badges, and all that comes with this build. So I'm gonna go with 6'8". When it comes down to the weight, for me, 210 is going to be perfect, 7'2" wingspan, and then when it comes down to the body shape, I'm going to go with build. Now when it comes down to the breakdown of these badges as well as the stats, y'all already know what to do. Just please be sure to follow along and everything is going to work out perfectly fine. So when it comes down to the close shot, I'm going to go with the 79. When it comes down to that driving layup, I'm actually going to go ahead and put this to an 82. That is going to be perfect when it comes down to unlocking layup packages. And then as for the driving dunk, go ahead and put this to a 92. And this right here is going to allow us to get contact dunks once we go ahead and adjust the vertical later on in the video. But as you can see, the badges that we do get for the driving side of the ball is really solid. A good amount of Hall of Fame badges. And I really like the count that we ended up with being 21. Now, let's go ahead and get into the shooting. I'm going to go with a maxed out mid-range shot. When it comes down to the three-pointer, same exact thing. That's going to allow us to get 27 badges for the shooting. Then on the free throw, I'm going to go ahead and put this all the way up to a 75. 27 badges that we do get, and I'm telling you, the setup is very solid all around. You get a good amount of gold as well as Hall of Fame badges when it comes down to the breakdown of the shooting. So you really are going to have everything that you need when it comes down to this build. But just know, if you feel like making changes, just please be sure to do it after we make the build in full. Let's go ahead and move on to the playmaking now. When it comes down to the pass accuracy, I'm going to go ahead and put this to an 82. As for the ball handle, I want to go ahead and say you must max this out. When it comes down to the speed with ball, this is going to be the same exact thing. Put it to a 72. And right there, we do get 22 playmaking badges. Very solid all around, and I'm telling you, when it comes down to what this build comes with, everything that goes into it is very solid. Especially once you add in the fact you're going to be able to get over 100 badges on this build. So let's go ahead and get into the final part of the breakdown, which is going to be the defensive end. I'm going to go with an interior defense of 56. When it comes down to the perimeter defense, I'm going to go with 86. As for the steal, I'm going to go ahead and put this to an 82. Now, when it comes down to the block and the rebound, this is going to be a key part of this build. I'm going to go with a block of 83. And now into the rebounding. This is what is going to allow us to get a good amount of extra badges on this build. So I'm going to go with an offensive rebound of 74. When it comes down to the defensive, I'm going to go ahead and put this up to an 88, and that's going to give me 28 defensive badges. Now, also, the same exact thing can be said. You're going to be able to get a good amount of badges when it comes down to the defensive side of this ball. Gold and Hall of Fame in this area, which makes it even better. And honestly, I can say it is very well spread out when it comes down to the balance on this build. Now, If we go ahead and add up all of our badges together, adding in the defensive and the playmaking, that is 50 alone. Add in the shooting, that's going to give us 77. Go ahead and add in the finishing, that's going to give us 98. But then also remember a +4 from the rebirth, going to allow us to get 102, and then a +3 because we are in the 3rd season, and that is going to allow us to get 105 badges on this build when it's all said and done. Now, when it comes down to the physicals, you're maxing out your speed, acceleration. Make sure you get that vertical to an 80 and put that stamina all the way up to a 90, and you're going to be set. 105 badges for this build. I'm telling you, really overpowered. And if you wanted to, you could even go ahead and change the setup based to your own preference after you get the build name. So once we go ahead and finish that, everything will be straight to go ahead and move forward with. As you can see, we do get the shot creating takeover, sharpshooting, playmaking, and last but definitely not least, we get the lockdown takeover. So whichever takeover you do pick, remember you're getting a +10 when your takeover is activated to that specific area of this build. The first one that I would go with, I've been doing this for a while now, ankle breaking shots. Shot creating takeover, really helpful. Second one, you can go based anything off your preference, but I'm telling you, the one that is really going to help us out, it should be obvious, I would have to say extreme clamps or enhanced jump shot contest. Now, either or of these would be a really good option to go with. I'm going to go ahead and just say leave it up to y'all. And as you can see, we have made the playmaking 3-level scorer, y'all. This build, I'm telling you, once you add boost to it, which is a +4, run with teammates that have defensive leader and floor general on Hall of Fame, another +4, so you're getting +8, and then add the +10 to your shooting and defensive, +18 to these two areas of this build. Now remember, this is all in takeover, so essentially you will be getting a 99 perimeter defense, 99 steal, 99 block, 99 defensive rebound, and high 90s for the offensive rebound. Interior defense will be in the 70s, which is still really solid. Now for the shooting, you're going to be able to get a 99 mid-range shot, 99 3-pointer, and our free throw will be in the 90s. But when it comes down to the finishing, we get a +8. Close shot will be in the high 80s, 90 driving layup, 99 driving dunk, which is something that we really need, especially with those contact dunks. And then for the playmaking, speed with the ball will be in the 80s. Ball handle has the potential to be up in the 90s. Pass accuracy will be in the 90s, and that is pretty much what this build is going to be looking like. But then again, remember, we're also getting a +4 to our physicals, so your speed will be in the 80s. When it comes down to the acceleration, going to be a 79, 84 vertical, 94 stamina, and also remember, on top of all that, let's just go ahead and say you did pick different takeovers, you're getting a +10 to whichever area of that build applies to. So now when it comes down to these badges, just know that I'm going based off of my playstyle and preference. So if you see something different that you would run, go ahead and try it out. But now let's go get started. I'm gonna go with gold posterizer first. From there, Hall of Fame limitless takeoff, silver fearless finisher. Now for the last 7 badges, these really come down to your playstyle. I'm gonna go with slithery finisher on Hall of Fame. Then we get one more that we're going to be able to use. For me, I have to say unstrippable is going to be the one for me. Now let's go ahead and get into the shooting. To start it off, I'm going to go ahead and run silver, blinders, gold, corner specialist, and then from here we still get a good amount of extra badges to use. Throw on, catch and shoot on silver, deadeye, bronze, green machine, volume shooter, gold, hot zone hunter, Hall of Fame sniper, and then for the last 2 badges, I would go with clutch shooter. Then we get one more left over. I would go ahead and also add in stop and pop on bronze. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the next category, which is going to be the playmaking. 22 badges to work with. So to start it off, I'm going to go with bullet passer as well as Bella on bronze. And then from there, I'm also going with hyperdrive. Quick first step, tight handles is questionable. If you want to go ahead and put it on, go ahead and do so. I'm going to leave it on gold, triple threat juke as well. And then you cannot forget about handles for days. We get one more leftover badge, so you can change any tier of badge to your preference, or just go ahead and throw on an extra bronze badge, or even really you can change this whole setup if you feel like there's something different that you would go with. But I'm going to go with unpluckable on bronze. And now let's go ahead and get into the last part of this breakdown, which is going to be the defensive end. So for me, I'm going to go with Intimidator on gold. Then also, you got to go ahead and throw on Rebound Chaser on silver, Rim Protector, Hustler in Hall of Fame, and then gold Chase Down Artist. Now, you cannot forget about gold clamps for the last 4 badges. If you wanted to, you can really spread the wealth here. But if you wanted to also, you can go ahead and change the setup of any badges. Go with one straight gold badge. This really comes down to how you see it. But I'm going to go with Interceptor on bronze, Tireless Defender, and then silver Pogo Stick. And this is the setup that I would be running for this build. We're going to end up with 28 defensive badges. Then when it comes to the playmaking, we get 22. As for the shooting, we're going to be able to maintain 27. And then for the finishing, we get 21 plus 7 from the season as well as the rebirth, making it 105 badges in total. Again, I just want to say thank y'all for your support. Thank you for coming through, and most of all, thank God for this opportunity. I got bangers lined up for y'all, man, for this week especially. So y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody looking to join the Rich Gang family, go ahead and turn on post notifications as well as hit that like button. Let's go ahead and get at least 50 likes in this video. Be sure to share it with your family and friends. And last but not least, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Thank God and Rich out.